Coach Houston, we'll start with you and work the other way. You get the less time to think, but the other guys are not stealing your answers ahead of time. I don't typically like to ask multi-part questions, but this is such a wide topic that you guys can just pick one, pick two of these, whatever. Name, image, likeness has only been around for 1 year. My question to you is, any combination that you're feeling of what's good about it, what's bad about it, and how it has changed your job now that you at least had 1 year dealing with it?
Well, it's changing everything, that's for sure. So, and everybody in this room has probably heard from us about it. You know, number one, I'm all for any way we can support the student athletes, and there needs to be a better way to support them beyond the scholarship. So, I think there is some positives to name, image, likeness. The thing that scares me and probably scares everybody else up here is that there's basically no rules, and that really scares me for the integrity of our game, and it scares me for the kids too. You start dealing with a lot of money, and you start dealing with people that aren't inside your program, and it worries me the impact that's going to have on our student athletes.
You know, I think for the student athletes that are on our campuses, I'm in favor of it. I think it's, you know, for them, they work hard, and it's hard for them to earn additional income. It's hard for them to find time to have a job and things like that. Some of them, as you know, are very popular figures, not just on our campus, but across the country for how they play and who they are. And so their opportunity to monetize that as current student athletes, I think is terrific, and I'm behind that. The problem is the enforcement of the rules. That they technically have rules, but there isn't any enforcement right now, and so we need the NCAA to help us with that. And I think that'd be the biggest thing is the recruiting aspect. They really need to step in and get involved in that aspect of where NIL is for us as coaches.
Yeah, I think very similar to the positive. I think, you know, everyone believes that there's this big chunk of money out there now in college football, and certainly our student athletes need to get some piece of it, right? And trying to figure out the right ways for that to happen and the right ways for them to utilize their name and image to do that for themselves. I think one of the biggest drawbacks that I've seen is I think you're starting to see kids make college decisions not based off of what school fits them or what system fits them or what coach fits them or what university fits them. It's now becoming a little bit more and more about who's giving me the biggest deal coming out of high school. And I think that ultimately has some ramifications on graduation, on development, on success for these young student athletes. And you know, they're making a huge decision at 17 years old. And I think we've put a huge piece on top of that now that I'm not sure that everyone is quite ready to handle.
The thought is good. Sally told me when this all came up that an artist that's a student can go sell their art. A musician can go play a bar, go play a concert. So if the other students can make money off their brand or their abilities, why shouldn't a student athlete? I totally agree. And there's so many great things. You learn about making money, you learn about being an entrepreneur, you learn about making your brand better. You learn how to pay taxes at a very young age before any of us did. You learn how to give back because you learn how to give to charities. We've got a young man that's got cancer, wide receiver, Tylee Kraft. His mother's a police officer. Their family stretched for money. He's been able to sell t-shirts. They had a golf tournament in his honor so he could get some money. So there are a lot of positive things. I think what the guys have said is that the market value is better for the recruit than it is the guy on your campus. And the guys on your campus, maybe 2 or 3%, are going to make money because they're the best players. And we've said it's about your ball, it's not about your brand. Man, nobody wants you to be involved with their name if you get in trouble, if you're not going to school, if you don't interview right, or if you don't play good. So those are facts, and that's what it is. But the recruit has got 10 people trying to get in. And like Dave said, the problem we've always tried to be able to keep recruiting competitive. And right now it's not. The ones that are paying the most money for the most kids are getting the best players. And that's not competitive. And the ones that get the best players are going to win the most games. And we've had an imbalance in football over the last few years, but it's going to get worse unless somebody steps up and stops it now. And what Mike said so true too. We're seeing kids make decisions on $100,000 that'll be gone in a year and a half, instead of where they should go to school for education, where they're gonna live when they get through, what kind of job they're gonna have when they get through. So we're making decisions for young people for things that aren't best in their lives. And that's a concern. And until the NCAA steps up and starts making some decisions to put some guidelines, Tom Brady gets $150,000 because of what he's earned for an appearance. We can have a guy go to a car dealership, get $1 million for signing autographs, because we have no salary caps. We have no guidelines, we've got nothing. So, thought's good, love our players, love the fact they can make a little money. Recruiting's out of control, and it needs to stop now.
Well, it doesn't mean at SCF school, we don't have nearly as much going on with now as these guys do. But one issue that we run into is a lot of tampering going on. And a lot of schools, reach out to our top guys. And, Coach Brown reached out to my top guy and says, look, man, I'll give you $10,000. He's gone. And there's nothing you can do. And it's so messy now. A lot of coaches are going through players and other, high school coaches to really tamper. So I've been fighting like that to try to keep my guys. Second thing, like Coach Uncle said, when I went to North Carolina Central, I went there because Coach Larry Little and I had a relationship. I love the university and I love the people there on campus. These young men nowadays are making decisions about money. And I think whenever you start making decisions solely on money, a lot of times you don't make the best decisions. So what school provides the best academic program? Where do you see that you can graduate from? Things of that nature, I think is what's important. The money will come.
All right, Coach Oliver, let's stay with you.